Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're really going to dig into one of those cloud FinOps principles that I think can make a huge difference in how we view cloud spending.
It's one thing to, talk about saving money on cloud resources, which, don't get me wrong, is important, but it's another thing entirely to connect those savings or even better those investments back to the actual bottom line value of the business.
Exactly. And that's precisely what this principle is all about. Decisions are driven by business value of cloud.
I mean, it sounds straightforward enough, but I feel like it's something that can easily get lost in the weeds when you're dealing with the complexities of cloud services and infrastructure.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just about complexity, right? Cloud spending can feel like this nebulous thing, easy to overspend, easy to lose track of where the money's actually going. It's true.
Yeah.
So how do we bring it all back down to earth?
Well, first off, it's important to remember this principle applies to everyone, not just the Fortune 500s.
Right. Whether you're a massive government agency or a small startup, a healthcare provider, or a retailer, it doesn't matter. This principle is universal.
It's about making sure that every dollar you spend in the cloud translates to some kind of positive impact on your business goals. Kind of like you wouldn't buy a Ferrari if all you need is a reliable way to get to work every day, right?
Okay, I love that analogy.
Yeah.
So are you saying that sometimes a simple, cost-effective solution is better than the latest and greatest cloud offering?
Exactly. It's about choosing the right tool for the job, not just the shiniest one. Because, and here's the thing, what's right for one team or project within an organization might be totally wrong for another.
That makes a lot of sense. So how do we prevent overspending? Like, how do we make sure that we're not just throwing money at the cloud without a clear understanding of the return on investment?
That's where things get really interesting, right? Because we have to start talking about metrics, and not just any metrics, but metrics that are directly tied to business value.
So instead of getting bogged down in gigabytes and terabytes and all the technical jargon.
Yeah. Forget about those for a second.
Yeah.
We need to think about things like, what's the cost per widget sold? What's the cost per active user? What's the cost per successful customer interaction?
Oh, now those are numbers that everyone understands.
Right. It's about finding the metrics that resonate with the people who hold the purse strings, the ones who are ultimately responsible for the success of the business.
I'm totally with you. So we're being mindful of our cloud solutions. We're tracking the right metrics. What else is there?
The glue that holds it all together. Visibility. And by that, I mean making sure that everyone in the organization, from the engineers to the marketing team, from the sales folks to, well, everyone, understands how cloud spending connects to those key business metrics we just talked about.
Because it's one thing to have all this data, but if it's just sitting in a silo somewhere, it's not really doing anyone any good.
Precisely. Imagine if your engineering team had clear visibility into how their cloud resource usage directly impacts the company's bottom line, or if the marketing team could see how their latest campaign affected cost per lead. It's about empowering everyone to make data-driven decisions that ultimately benefit the entire organization.
I can see how that would lead to some much more productive budget conversations as well. Less finger pointing, more collaboration.
And you know what else? When teams see how their efforts are directly contributing to the business's success, it creates a sense of ownership, a culture of accountability. And when you have that, well, that's when the magic really starts to happen.
I love that. It's like a ripple effect.
Exactly. And speaking of positive outcomes, we can't forget to celebrate the wins. When teams or individuals find ways to optimize their cloud usage, to reduce costs without sacrificing performance, shout it from the rooftops.
Absolutely. Share those success stories because they not only inspire others to do the same, but they also reinforce this idea that we're all in this together, all working towards the same goal.
It all comes back to alignment, doesn't it? Aligning our cloud spending with our business goals, aligning our teams around shared metrics, and aligning our culture around data-driven decision-making.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with a challenge. What's one action you can take today to start putting this principle into practice within your own organization? Even if it's something small, like identifying a key business metric that you can start tracking in relation to your cloud spending, it's a step in the right direction.
Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and transforming your organization's approach to cloud finances takes time and effort. But by focusing on the business value of cloud, by making data-driven decisions, and by celebrating success along the way, you can ensure that your cloud journey is a profitable one.
And on that note, thanks for joining us for another deep dive. Until next time.